This is what our world kind of looks like. We're exposed to 3,000 messages a day, most of them on this device that we carry in our pocket or in our bag, and when we look around as well. So our world is pretty saturated, right? I mean, everyone's trying to sell us stuff, right? How many of you today are looking at your feeds like Facebook and trying to find your friends' posts in between the sponsored stories, right? It's getting to a little commercial. So we've created a situation where we're in content chaos right now. We're living in a world of content chaos, right? We are bombarded with so many messages and so many different things that this is how your customer probably feels. This is how people feel. This is how I felt a few years ago. And so it's coming at you at every side and every corner, right? It's like, I want to go and get my groceries at Giant, and I'm pushing my cart, and someone's sticking a red t-shirt in my face and say, buy my shirt, right? That's kind of what it feels like today. We go to YouTube for content. We don't go to YouTube for ads, but we're forced to watch pre-roll ads, right? We organically, we kind of doing our social media stuff, but things are coming at us at every corner. And so there is a good side, there is an inbound side to advertising, and we'll touch a little bit about that, but generally, it's kind of intrusive, right? Would you agree? Things are not just working at it. And what's happening is people are literally doing this, right? I mean, this is the expression of what. And so when that happens, we're seeing a few things that's happening in the whole space of marketing. Over 300 million people actively using some kind of ad blocking software. How many of you are using blocking ads? There you go. That's about 70% of you in the room right here. The average click-through rate of a banner is 0.06%. And yet, everybody says the first thing we'll do, let's do a banner, right? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. So out of 1,000 people, 6 people are clicking through a banner. That doesn't mean that someone's converting at the end of that. Just clicking through and landing on a landing page. And what happens after that probably is 0.01% of those things are being converted. How many of you love mobile ads here? Right? 60% of the clicks on mobile are accidental. Why? Because people are trying to get rid of them. They're trying to find the X on the ad. They're trying to get rid of those annoying little things, right? And yet, every second business that I meet, every second they say like, okay, we're going to put, what are you going to do? We're going to put more ads. We're going to do mobile ads. Okay, this is the state of the world. So it's an issue fundamentally of trust, right? We have a problem of trust today. We don't trust brands. We don't trust marketing, right? And the reason for that, why is that happening? Is because we can now find out things for ourselves. We don't need brands to tell us what they do or how they do it or why I should buy a product. We have this device in our pocket, right? We'll figure it out in 5 minutes. Hey, Mr. Brand, don't tell me you're the number one in your category. 3.6 review here, and 48 people say you suck, right? We know, we are smart. When you pick a hotel room today, are you looking at the hotel room pictures? What pictures are you looking at? Traveler pictures, right? We're smart. We don't care about the hotel. The hotel was taken them 10 years ago and it looked good. I want to see if my bag actually fits in that room, right? That's what I want to see. And so we all go. And today we're deep in the information age. We are deep in the information age, and we are hyper-researching everything as customers because we can. Hyper-researching everything, okay? And so brands need to be authentic and real, and fundamentally that's the story. You can't be marketing the way you used to, because the word marketing implies putting your messages out to the world and selling yourself. That is a fundamental shift in consciousness that's happened. You can't sell today. And what can you do? Let's find out. People don't really care about your product or service, right? All people care about is how your product or service makes you feel. Fundamentally, we should be talking about what does it do for you, okay? What's in it for them? And that's where we need to understand the big shift that's happening in marketing. So people care about themselves, right? And how your product or service makes them feel. That's ultimately what they care about. But 99% of marketing is product-centric today. Most websites, if you go to the most websites today, they're product brochures. Here's our beautiful looking product. Here's our factory. Here's how we do it. No one's talking about what it does for you. And that's where you need to, that's the biggest shift that needs to happen from a marketing standpoint, okay? So, We know that people are really smart in control of brands. We can no longer control top of mind because people will figure it out themselves, right? We're smart. We're hype. We're really, really smart today, okay? So we don't get pulled by any messaging today. We're really smart. We'll figure it out for ourselves. So what does it mean fundamentally? So is there a light at the end of the tunnel, or is there a Zen insight for marketing? And apparently so there is, right? Because when it comes down to the fundamental basic need, all people really want is to solve their problems. What does it mean? What does that mean for people like us who are trying to reach these people, right? It means that most marketing today is pushing people away, is distracting people, it's movie, it's noisy, it's intrusive, right? It doesn't care about people. It cares about all marketing cares about is a product and how beautiful and how great it is, and it's moving people away. It's driving people away. Right? We're all facing that in that room. I mean, you guys raised your hands as well in terms of your ad blocking software. But what if marketing would actually pull people to you? What if marketing would actually attract people to your product? Right? Wouldn't that be great? And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. Now, what this means is we need to move away from hype marketing that we've been doing all our lives and change it to something that is related. And it's only a 2-letter shift, but it's a massive shift in consciousness, right? So what we need to do and how we need to be smart is really move from hype to help. That's it. The fundamental question we need to ask before we do anything is how can I help? How can I help you? So businesses that are in the help arena are going to survive. And marketing that's doing helpful marketing is going to be around. The rest of the stuff, the hype's gone. Pretty much. Because the only thing as consumers we are engaging with content-wise is helpful content that's moving us from A to B to somewhere higher up in our lives that's helping us with something, okay? So what that means is we're all media companies. We all have to produce content today. We're all media companies in some form. Now we're all doing WhatsApps, we're all doing whatever posting we're doing on a regular basis. So that's fundamentally taking it one step more. From an inbound perspective, it's putting out useful content for your customers and engaging them, okay? And we'll see how that's done. So today we know customers are very savvy, so 70 to 80% of research is done before they even talk to you, right? So we need to create this self-serve content for them to be able to understand what you offer, right? I'm not going to come to your website. There was some research, 98 or 99% of the people are not going to buy anything when they come to your site first. They've no idea that they're going to buy anything. They just landed on your site from a ad or a landing page or whatever else they come through. They've come to your site, they're not ready to buy because they're not convinced enough at this stage. I need to do more research. I need to do more research is the question. Let me figure this thing out. Now, as you move up the value chain, that research and decision making gets more intense. In the B2B space, there's a lot more decision making to be done, right? Because there's a lot more people to get the buy-in from. Because if I'm buying a $5,000 worth of software, I need 3 or 4 approvals, CTO, maybe a couple of other people. So the journey is more complex on a B2B space, right? So research and so where is this research stuff coming from? Where are they looking for? What are they looking for? They're looking for content. And so you as a brand and you as a product or service need to have this content available throughout the customer journey for them to engage and understand more about you. Unfortunately, what that means is we're all media companies and we have to create a lot of content. Okay, there's no getting around it.